Hey everyone, David Bowders, CEO of Sparks IQ and TradeHounds, and I'm here with Demi Clark. Demi is the Chief Igniter at Spark Building Group.
A lot of
Welcome.
sparks.
So tell us a little bit about what you're seeing here at NED National.
Well, I'm speaking in about an hour right now on workforce development and really what's next for the trades, what should we be focused on. I don't like to put it in terms of generations because I don't know, I'm a feral Gen Xer, but we started out as something else way back when. It was like Ys and all these other things. Millennials are now what it would. So anyway, what the next generation we should be focusing on now, that's our employee of 2030, which is right behind us. I mean, that's just a few years down the road. And then also the technology and what makes it attractive for them to choose us, because we really got away from choosing us.
Yeah, there's really a big gap. As we know, there'll be about half of electricians retiring in the next 5 to 10 years. So just to replace those people, let alone all of the expanded demand for more electrical investment in the United States,
Right.
It's creating a big gap. What do you think some of the keys are to getting the next generation of skilled tradespeople?
I think it's starting now. I hear this a lot. I speak at a lot of different trade association events, and it's agnostic. It's everyone saying the same thing. If we've got maybe a 5 to 7 year window, what are we doing? A lot of family-run businesses, so it's not all publicly traded or large private companies. There's a myriad of different sizes, and you really have to think about how attractive is it as a choice. Mm-hmm. We're so focused, and we've been so focused for the last 30 years with the influx of the Y2K boom, which I come out of, into careerdom of saying more of that Google Python technology for STEM. And we got out of saying that all of our trades are STEM for the most part, minus carpentry. You get into electrical, MEP, welding, which is my background, kind of coming back to it. We've got to put STEM back in the narrative, and we also have to make it sexy for them. It's not college, no college. Like, we've got to stop acting like that's the drum that we always have to beat. That's actually working itself out right now because college is so prohibitive. I've got two, one is 19 and the other's 21. I'll be very excited when they're done. But the future remains to be seen. Is that really a necessary thing with a lot of what AI and technology is doing for this next generation? So you got to tap right into that now. And that doesn't mean the 12-year-olds. That means the 18 to 22-year-olds who are in the market right now.
And we know there's a major knowledge transfer challenge, particularly just the amount of knowledge that's retiring that has to be transferred back into the entering workforce. What are some of the best ways for companies to make sure that knowledge transfer is successful?
I think mentoring is huge, but you've really got to be putting the right mentors with the right folks. I'm going to be talking about blind spots today because it's one thing to talk about workforce development. I've had so many CEOs come to me privately and say, Demi, I'm trying to just grab more women on the street. And I'm like, well, don't go out and say that for one. But what they're meaning is they're just trying to get the people. And so anyone that's in recruiting in any industry knows it is such a life cycle. And so I know that that's our biggest challenge is the actual humans right now. But then you get into the kind of second and third stages of the cycle and the journey of saying not only the knowledge transfer, but then also what's the career trajectory for those people you went out and grabbed, especially electrical when you've got, you could get into a journeyman situation, 4-year apprentice. They could be in a union. I've talked to a lot of the different unions of saying, hey, did they know enough about you, or did you have people out in the field being able to talk this up, and not just a career day? Yeah. I mean, really into like new ways and places we can get them to say, you're going to be devoting 4 years of your life. I'll tell you, for colleges, not to get back too much to the college, no college piece, but we've got to treat it the same way. Kids spend 1.5 years going and researching colleges. They don't go spend 1.5 years researching plumbing, electrical, journeyman positions that are apprenticeships that are full paid. They are pushed into it most of the time from a guidance counselor or a parent that's in it. So we've got to devote the same time to that. And I think that knowledge transfer starts there. And then once they're on staff, it's really pairing the right mentors so that you honor that knowledge and you don't push them out the door either. They want to retire, but they also want legacy, right? So I think it's a hand-in-hand thing. It starts at the bookends, at the very beginning of the process, but then also as you can help them career trajectory in.
One of the things that's interesting with the new generation of workers is just how they gather information and the importance of social media. I think a lot of manufacturers, distributors here at NAED really haven't thought through the importance of social in terms of how they build awareness, preference with this new generation. What are you seeing in terms of how social is driving the attractiveness of this industry?
Yeah, I think it's it's a given. I mean, even to the TikTok levels, like companies have got to figure out how do you make yourself relevant based on where they're consuming their media. It used to be about, oh, is that platform right for my company? And now it's irrelevant to say that. It's where are they going to get their data, to your point. So I think that is a huge piece, but somebody turned it on its ear for me last week when we were talking about AI, and I was really trying to go down that bunny trail on ChatGPT. And we're so focused on ChatGPT as a thing, but he said, you need to look at this generationally. Gen Xers like myself, we're the ones that are using it more like an alternative to Google, going doing a search, a Siri type Alexa search. Millennials are using it more of a life coach. What do I need to do next? Put together this plan for me. Whereas Gen Z's, it's an operating system.
Right.
And so until I really switched my thinking to that, it's okay, so before we were saying AI is not going to come into the trades. Now I'm thinking, hey, how are you going and doing your videos, your production work, all the creative things to be not only sexier in terms of what they're used to consuming on whatever social media, but how can you do it very quickly and assimilate it? And you can do all kinds of things with AI right now. So I'm trying to do better and think like them and use it as an operating system. But I think as companies can shift to reframe their thinking that way, they can start figuring out how to make it more attractive.
One of the things TradeHounds is doing is incorporating AI product search into our app so that
That's great.
people are on the platform. A lot of young people, they don't know all the products yet. They don't know what they need to do certain jobs, and we're giving them the AI support to be able to quickly identify not only which product do they need, but also where do they source it from. So we're connecting into supply houses, getting their inventory availability. And these are really digital natives now. They expect everything to be doable on their phone,
Yeah.
and they expect it to be instantaneous and frictionless. And so I think you can already see AI, really starting to build productivity in the trades. For a long time now, people have been thinking, how do we get 2 times as many people into the trades as are leaving the trades? And that is certainly one of the most fundamental questions. But another part is, how do we make people in the trades more productive?
Right.
What our users have told us is they spend up to a third or even 40% of their time just trying to get the materials they need to do their work. That's all wasted time that could be better spent actually doing work.
Sure. Efficiency is definitely one. And then also the technology, not just social media platforms and digital native status, it's also what are we doing with automation? I mean, I'm in welding, that's really happening quickly between laser technology and then cobots and robots. We're starting to see that with driverless cars, with Waymo. I was just getting pounded by ads on my phone on the way down here with that. And I'm like, wow, I guess it's here. We're really here. And how is that going to change things? And how could that change the electrical industry as well? Like, not to be afraid of this, to say these digital natives are not only going to start asking you questions about how is automation going to be part of my life, how is that going to be attractive to them to learn that upskill and for you to be more efficient? If you have a pool of 5 instead of a pool of 20, because really we only need 5 at the end of the day, how much of them are going to be technology-driven jobs that they could be trained into, or is that part of the career trajectory that looks attractive to them? And getting it out of that hourly, that's the pitfall, and I won't go too far down on this, is that I see everybody focusing on hourly wage. Gen Z does not care about hourly wage. Right. You've got to start talking about that bigger picture of what they're solving for.
Well, Demi, it's great to spend time with you today, and we look forward to further conversations.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Take care.